Hi, welcome to my blog. This week's video is all about taking back your power. How we give our power away unconsciously, sometimes consciously, and also how to take it back and start being your own divine human that you want to be. So welcome, human angel. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for supporting my channel, and hopefully these tips and tricks can help you, give you some ideas of how to be in your divine light so that the world can work for you instead of feeling like it's overwhelming and feeling scattered. Anyway, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. This really helps me out. So let's dive into it. Why this subject, taking back your power? Well, this last couple of weeks, I've been watching someone dear to me go through a situation where their power was completely stripped away. And the energetics of that was really interesting to watch. This individual started to get very scattered, lost their confidence, lost their ability to make decisions, couldn't move very well, as in move forward or backwards, very stuck. And as I was just observing this whole situation where they went into asking for an opinion and came back with nothing energetically, as in owning their strength, their courage, their ability, capability, all of that to move forward, that whole piece was so interesting to see how that completely stripped away. So let's talk about how we give our power away unconsciously. So a lot of times, this is a very simple one. There's many ways, but we're just going to come down onto a really simple topic. This piece, practical, that we do every day is something that we really give away. So if we're asking for advice or we get unsolicited advice, a lot of times well, in my world especially, I would always put someone else's opinion before my own. And what happens is you just gave your power away. You took away your truth, your own intuition, your own well-being, and you said somebody else knows better for me than I do. Well, in this now world, when you want to make a decision for yourself, you have to find your truth. And then you find, in my world, you find what works for you or what is in alignment to that truth. And if you walk into a situation and they're giving you advice or unsolicited advice that isn't aligned to your truth, it may be delivered in a frequency, the advice may be perfectly true, but if they're offering it in a very commanding, you should do this and that, there doesn't allow you a choice to make your own decision, that may be going against your truth. And you may need to find somebody else that can offer you options so that you can find your own alignment. And what happens is when we give away our power, we scatter, we get in our monkey mind, we get into our space and places of unable to make decisions, unable to speak, unsure of ourselves. We get to a place of where we aren't able to move forward, we aren't able to make a decision, and we can't even see the right decision to make forward. Should I go get other advice or not? Because sometimes that power gets stripped away. So what are some ways? So now that you understand that, let's talk about ways that you can bring that power back to you. There are some simple ways. The very first and foremost, the very important one is you got to become aware. Because if you're not aware, you don't know, right? So stop and put your hand on your heart and start to breathe and ask yourself, where am I? And just take some deep breaths and start paying attention to, are you stuck in your head? Can you think of other thoughts that really support you? Do you feel like you are supported? Are you scattered in feeling scattered? Are you anxious? Sometimes that can be a very big indicator that you've given your power away. When you align to your truth, then you don't waver. You go, nope, this is my truth. That doesn't mean that you might not, if you're married or with kids, you're working on and you're navigating how to come together to make that decision work for you. But it does mean that you're like, this is my truth and I'm going to be in it. It creates boundaries that people know that they can't cross. So stop and pay attention to yourself. Where are you? Start breathing and ask yourself these questions. It's so important. Then once you start to stop and ask yourselves your questions, you're going to put your hand on your heart. And as you're putting your hand on your heart, you're moving out of your head, which is usually a big indicator. If you're totally in your head, then you're not in your heart. You're not listening to your inner knowing, your inner truth that tells you that divine light within you that gets these answers to help you move forward can't come through when we're up in our head all the time. We want them working together, not separately. So bring it into your heart, start breathing so that you can start making a decision to move forward. Then the next step that you do after you become aware, number one, you got to clear everybody out of your space. So sometimes when we give back our power, when we give away our power, that person's energy is in our field. That vibration, that frequency of advice came through, got stuck in here, and you need to get that cleared out. So you can take a rose and you can pretend like it's vacuuming up everything. Go on the outside in your auric field, go on the inside, wherever you feel it. Put it in your head, pretend like you got a Q-tip going on in your head, in your throat, even in your heart. If you go down just above your belly button, you can go down to the solar plexus and you can pretend that's your power center. Take that, clear it all out. Take that rose, pretend like it's a Q-tip, vacuum. It doesn't matter. It's in the frequency of love that you're doing this. Put it in a bubble of love and return it to before it was ever created. Once you get that done, then you're going to call back all the parts and pieces that you left somewhere. And if you left it, you never know. Sometimes we unconsciously leave pieces and parts of us on a can at the grocery store, on the pop bottle, at the gas station, on the pump, just because we haven't been taught to manage our energy. So what you want to do is I take a rose. I learned this in Mastery Alchemy. Also, Nancy Rebecca talks about the rose. You can use it to call back all your parts and pieces. So you just put the rose out in front of you and you command all your parts and pieces that are left anywhere from any place, dimension, time, space, and I just call it back, and then I explode that rose right back into my field. Then I'm bringing me. All of me is together. It can help all of a sudden bring in a sense of stability, a new foundation, a new space of even joy, because you found some of those pieces that we've left somewhere from who knows how long. Anyway, I do that daily. Sometimes I'll do it twice a day, definitely in the morning, and usually at night. So try that, see how it helps. The next piece, the very last piece that I suggest, is you do a grounding cord. Once you've got all of your pieces back, then you can take a grounding cord, and what it is just a cord of light, or you can grow roots from your feet. So you can do a cord of light from your heart, and you take that cord of light and you take it clear, you imagine it going clear down to the magnetic core of the earth, wrapping around it, and then bringing that loving energy from Mother Earth back up to you. This is a space of creating you a new foundation, a new ability to hold your pieces with more ease and grace. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you today, because we forget how easy it is to lose our power, and creating a space of scatteredness and anxiety instead of a space of well-being and stability and capability. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you need help with this, you are always welcome to have a private session with me. You can do that at sharonhall.org, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.